Are we are we live? Hold on. Wait. Are we live? Hold on a second. Everybody remain calm. That Star Wars celebration was absolutely bonkers. I know. You know. I know. We know. That was wild. We're going to go over all the announcements and all that crazy stuff. So let's get hyped. What's up, Star Wars fans? It is Mike, a guy who loves Star Wars, and today we were talking about all the crazy stuff that happened at Star Wars Celebration. We're going to be talking about the next episode that comes out tomorrow for The Mandalorian Season 3 that is supposed to be mind freaking blowing. And we got some other Star Wars news to talk about. Some things that didn't show up at Star Wars Celebration that are just as exciting as the things that did show up at Star Wars Celebration, which is very exciting. Zap, what is up? He says, I will not remain calm. Okay, good. Because we don't want to remain calm. We want to get really excited. All right. So, before we even start off, what did you think about Star Wars Celebration? What did you think? Let's start here. What would you rank it out of 10? How was Star Wars Celebration for you out of 10? Let's rank it up. Rank it out of 10. How hyped was Star Wars Celebration for you? How hyped was it for you? Did it live up to your expectations? Did it exceed your expectations? Where is Star Wars Celebration at for you? Tell me in the chat. Tell me in the chat. Honey Badger says, I will not remain calm either. Let the hype begin. Yeah, it's going to be a hype stream tonight. I mean, this next Mandalorian episode could change everything. And of course, we'll talk about all the announcements that came at Star Wars Celebration as well. Zap says an 8.5 or a 9 in the hype meter. It met my expectations. Yeah, definitely did. Honey Badger says, the first time Celebration was worth celebrating. 11 out of 10 exceeded my expectations. So that's where I kind of am in between there. I'm at about a 9.5 out of 10. Can't give it a 10 out of 10. It wasn't perfect by any means. Could have expected a few other things. I think the only thing that I was wrong about, and I know I like to admit when I'm wrong, it was that the Luke, Leia, and Han show was never actually a real thing. Now, not everything I talk about on streams, not everything I report on the channel is going to be true. And I will tell you that it's a rumor before I tell you anything. But everything was a rumor until it gets confirmed, technically. But more things are more rumory than others, and I will tell you that as well. And the Luke, Leia, and Han show seemed a little too good to be true. Now, there is still a chance that will be created, but it seems as though they are going to just be making it something else. What's up, Kyle? Honey Badger says, it will come one day. I really do hope so. Just like Kenobi Season 2. I seriously doubt it. Kenobi, I feel like just will never come, and I doubt that it will come anytime soon. So yes, there was some good non-announcements made, and Kenobi Season 2 not being announced, I think, was one of them. So let's get into the announcements themselves. What actually got announced at Star Wars Celebration? So we had to have an emergency stream on Friday. So actually last week we streamed Tuesday, not Wednesday. So we streamed Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. There was 3 straight days where we streamed every single day, and it was kind of wild, and you guys came and hung out, and it was a lot of fun, and we had a lot of fun. But we had an emergency stream because of the fact that all of this crazy stuff got announced on day one. And it started with 3 movies. The first of which following Rey in her new Jedi Order, taking place 15 years after The Rise of Skywalker, which is kind of crazy. This announcement, out of all the ones through the entire weekend, made the fan base the most divided. It seems as though like 99.999% of the fan base is very excited about the announcements, all the announcements that we got at Star Wars Celebration. This is the only one that was kind of controversial. A lot of people who really hate the sequels did not want to see this at all. But even people who disliked the sequels, like myself, are still open to these characters. We're still open to seeing more of these characters. I think this movie's going to be very good. I think they've learned their mistakes in that Rey, 15 years later, having a Jedi Order could cause for some cool conflict. There could be a new bad guy, a Grisk or a Yuzon Vong that could come into the galaxy that could become the new antagonist for a post-sequel world. I think it could be a lot of fun, and of course it could bring in Grogu, and Grogu will be about around the age of 100, where he could be talking, training, doing all this fun stuff. And this movie will come out in 2025, in December of 2025. So what did you guys think about this movie? Are you excited for the Rey movie? I know we're starting off with the most controversial announcement that happened at Star Wars Celebration, but I've seen a lot of things. Okay, let me hang on. I gotta go full screen for this. Let me make one thing clear. Have you guys seen the pregnant Rey photo that's been going around the interweb? Yeah. Okay. I've like 20,000 people sent it to me this morning on DMs. 20,000 people were talking about it to me. And I had to reassure them that that is fake. So if you see a image of Rey pregnant and it's a leaked image from Celebration, it's fake. Whoever came up with it is actually a genius. Perfect timing, because it was just announced and they probably got on that right away. Made it look like it was a bad blurry picture from Celebration. It's fake. It's fake. It's fake. It's fake. It's fake. It's fake. Kyle says, is it a boy or girl? It's a fake boy or girl, whatever you want it to be. It's fake. The movie has yet to even begin filming at all. It's very far out from filming still. It still will film this year, I believe. But as of right now, it's nowhere close. So it's fake. It's fake. Don't believe anything you see on the interweb, except for if it comes from my face. Okay? Okay. Honey Badger says the new Chewbacca actor is playing a Wookiee Jedi in the Acolyte hype. Yeah, we'll get into the Acolyte in a little bit too as well. He follows up and says, I'm so excited for I'm only excited for Rey's movie if Ben, Finn, and Bo return. So here's the thing. Poe is the most likely one to return. Now, I feel like if they want to make money, they'll bring back Ben Solo or Kylo Ren in some sort of way. Force Ghost, maybe bring him back from the dead. Who knows? She's the freaking dyad of the Force. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? But Finn, I feel like, is the least likely one just because of how they treated John Boyega in the sequels. He has a kind of not a hatred, but he's okay with Star Wars for now. He doesn't really want to be all that involved in Star Wars as of right now, just because of how the sequels treated him. And in that, it wasn't like the fan base crapped all over Finn. It was the way that the writing treated Finn. And you can't blame him. You can't blame John Boyega for not wanting to come back if you watch the sequel trilogy. All he does is average about 5 or 6 Reys per episode, 7, 8, and 9. He just screams Rey the entire time, and that's about it. His story really never keeps on going, you know? Honey Badger follows up and says, the World Between Worlds could be the absolute way that they could bring Ben Solo, especially if it gets explored and explained in the Ahsoka show. There's definitely there could be some truth to that. I still think it's weird that Ben Solo disappears at the end of Rise of Skywalker, and then you never see him as a Force ghost. You never see him show up anywhere else. He disappears like Ben Kenobi does, or Obi-Wan Kenobi does in Episode 4, A New Hope. He just disappears, turns into nothingness. But the weird thing is he doesn't show up at the end. He's not one of the Force ghosts. When Rey looks out on Tatooine, she doesn't see Ben. It's very strange. Star Wars Politics says, do you think they will explain Anakin's legacy as the chosen one, or just leave it alone since it's practically already ruined and they will just make it worse? So here's how I think they could handle Anakin's legacy. Now, we talked about this on Saturday or something along at some point last week. We had so many live streams, they all just jumbled together. But Anakin, I feel like, because we haven't seen him as a Force ghost in so many projects, the 3 sequel movies didn't see him. All the other things did not see him. So it's very strange, and it's getting weirder and weirder the more and more we don't see Anakin. So I do believe that they will have to come up with an explanation as to where he could be. And of course, politics, I know you've even said this, making him go to go to Mortis and become the father of the Force. The balance between the light and the dark would make sense. And it would explain where he has been this entire time, why he can't be a Force ghost, why he can't really be involved in what's going on in the galaxy, and all that other stuff, which would make sense, and it would be very, very cool. And I really hope that's what they do, honestly. Honey Badger says, and I don't blame John Boyega. He was complaining pushed from side to side and misused. Sure. That's why I'm scared for Pedro in Mando. I don't want the same thing to happen to him. True. There's Pedro Pascal, there's something going on in the background of The Mandalorian right now. Now, we don't know what it is. We don't know what's going on behind the scenes. But there's clearly some conflict between Pedro Pascal and the writers, whether it be Jon Favreau, whether it be Kathleen Kennedy, and there is also some conflict between Jon Favreau and Kathleen Kennedy. But as I've said a million times, I believe Kathleen Kennedy will be gone by the end of this year. Again, Star Wars Celebration, we're going to get into all these announcements, but one of the big things that I noticed that wasn't really there at Star Wars Celebration was Kathleen Kennedy herself. Now, she was there. She was the one who announced these 3 movies. She brought Dave and Charmine and James onto stage, but she wasn't really involved in any of the other announcements. She was barely ever on stage. I watched all of the 8-hour live streams from every single day. I didn't watch them live, but I watched them as the day went on. I watched all the interviews. I watched all the announcements, all that stuff. And Kathleen was nowhere to be seen. She was only there a handful of times. And honestly, that's some good news for Star Wars fans. You know, Star Wars Politics follows up and says, I would love to see Ben Solo trapped, like he can't pass onto the realm of Force ghosts because of Palpatine's dark spirit or something. That would be very cool. I think they have like just an insane story with Kylo Ren and Ben Solo, and I feel like they don't want that to end. And us as fans definitely don't want that to end either. So figuring out a way to bring Ben Solo back would be smart. Smart. Star Wars Politics says the Mandalorian numbers have tanked. Yeah, we'll get into that in a little bit, but this next episode, and we'll talk about it later, just a sneak peek, I've heard from like over 20 sources now that this next episode not only will be very good and probably the best of the 3rd season, but I've heard from multiple sources that this could be the best of the entire series, like better than Luke showing up in season 2. But again, that's just all opinionated stuff, and I haven't seen it myself, and you guys haven't seen it, so we'll all have our own judgments. But many people saw it at Star Wars Celebration, and the common consensus is this is it. It's finally all coming together. Season 3 is finally making sense, and it's actually really, really good. Honey Badger says, it's because of bad announcements and Kathleen Kennedy that she made John make the Book of Boba Fett and connect it to The Mandalorian. And after Andor, that probably screwed the Mando's ratings in this season. Well, what's screwing the Mandalorian's ratings this season is, first of all, the season's not as good as the 2nd season, but also like you're saying, Andor was before it, and the Kenobi show was last year that didn't really do all that well, other than the 1st episode, which broke records, and the Book of Boba Fett, which didn't do all that well. So you take 2 years off from your hit show, and when it comes back and the ratings aren't that good, and you're like, oh, what the heck happened? Yeah, you should not be surprised. But hopefully these last 2 episodes are really, really good, and the word gets around that they're really, really good, and more people come to watch it. Because the Ahsoka show is going to be crazy, and we want everybody to watch it, as many people as possible to watch it. So hopefully Star Wars can get back on track numbers-wise. But I don't... these whole rumors about Kathleen Kennedy making Jon Favreau create the Book of Boba Fett, I don't know how true those are, because Jon Favreau has said many, many times Boba Fett is his favorite Star Wars character ever. And being able to bring him back in The Mandalorian Season 2 was a dream of his, but also creating the Book of Boba Fett was also a dream of his. Now, whether or not that project was rushed could be a different story. I do believe that project was definitely rushed. They didn't want the Mandalorian or the Mandoverse to take a whole year off, or 2 years even, so they had to create a show very, very quickly. And the Book of Boba Fett maybe wasn't ready to be created. So yeah, maybe it was rushed, but I definitely don't think so. Honey Badger says, I'm staying up tonight. It's 3 a.m. Let's go. Should we do a live watch party? Should we do a live watch party? Should we do a live watch party? Maybe. I'll think about it. Star Wars Politics says everything seemed rushed lately, other than like Andor. Yes, the Book of Boba Fett was rushed. The Kenobi show was rushed. The Bad Batch got delayed a few times, so it wasn't really rushed. It got delayed, so it's good. The Mandalorian, I don't think that was rushed all too much. Maybe a little bit, but not really. But yeah, it does seem a little bit rushed. Honey Badger says, I completely agree. That's why I feel like 2025 is extremely rushed. They only have a year and a half to film and direct. Well, here's the thing with the 2025 movie, and I know it just lost Damon Lindelof and got Stephen Knight back on. It does seem very, very rushed, but they've also had 4 years to create this story. So although Stephen Knight has just entered the project, there's a whole writer's room that have been working on this project for a long time. Star Wars Politics says, don't get too hyped. Hey, guess what? I'm going to get hyped, and I'm going to get really hyped, and you can't stop me. And you can't stop me, because this episode's going to be the best episode of ever of any show ever. Maybe not, but you know, I like to get hyped about Star Wars, and maybe it'll let me down, but you never know. Kyle says, I'm hyped. You can't stop us. You can't stop us. Exactly, Kyle. Get on the bandwagon. Star Wars Politics says he's bouncing. I'm going to be bouncing a lot tonight. There was some great announcements at Star Wars Celebration, and we only got to the first one, so let's keep going. Let's keep going. So the second movie that was announced was, of course, a Dave Filoni movie. Now, this was the greatest news I could have ever woken up to on Friday morning when Dave Filoni, who is the apprentice of George Lucas, everybody knows this. He's created countless of the greatest Star Wars projects, with Rebels, with Bad Batch, with Tales of the Jedi, now The Mandalorian in live action, and he's going to be creating the Ahsoka show as well. Created the Clone Wars, all 6 seasons, and then season 7 later. He's the GOAT. He's the GOAT, and he's getting his own movie. It's going to be a Mando movie, and that is just awesome. It's so awesome. I could freak out, speculate about what it's going to be about, blah, 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 but it seems clear that it's going to be Thrawn and the heir to the Empire type situation. Now, whether or not Luke, Leia, and Han will be involved in this movie, I would certainly hope so, but I don't think they will be in a big way. I think it will be like centered around Mandalorians and Ahsoka and all those other characters that Dave has been in charge of lately. But Dave getting a movie is great. Dave's getting a movie is fantastic. Now, the third movie, and slowly, is becoming the most exciting and hyped one for me, is a Dawn of the Jedi movie, or Origins of the Jedi, First Force users 25,000 years ago, directed by James Mangold. So James Mangold, if you guys are unfamiliar, directed the movie Logan, which a lot of fans absolutely love. Logan is the last, when Wolverine died, but now he's coming back in Deadpool 3, so who knows? But he directed that. He's directing the Indiana Jones movie that comes out later this year, and he now will be directing a Dawn of the Jedi, or like First Force users movie, which will introduce us to the Dawn of the Jedi time period, and hopefully bring us into the Old Republic in Star Wars canon as well, which is going to be wild. It's going to be wild. So 3 Star Wars movies. You got the Rey one, you got the directed by Dave Filoni one, and the James Mangold Dawn of the Jedi movie. It's crazy. 3 movies. Like, we knew 3 movies were coming. We speculated that it could have been a trilogy of movies, 10, 11, 12, or something along those lines. But this was, I think, the best scenario. Everybody wins. You get a Dawn of the Jedi movie, which, I mean, I've yet to hear one person complain about, because who the hell's going to complain about that? Dave Filoni gets all the praise in the world for being as the greatest that he is, and gets his own movie. And even the sequel fans get to eat as well, and get a new Jedi Order movie with Rey. So those are the movies. And that's just movies. We got shows, we got video games, we got all this stuff to talk about as well. Honey Badger says, nothing will stop this hype. This is the way. Hashtag Din is that guy. Din is that guy. I thought about it over the weekend. I was down on Din a little bit on Saturday's stream, but Din is that guy. Din is that guy. Din Djarin all the way. Din Djarin for life. Kyle Kyle says, I'm driving the wagon. Let's freaking go. Yes, exactly. Honey Badger says $10,000 says that Dave brings George on set while filming and oversight of his movie. $10,000 is a lot of money, but I'll put my money on it. I'll put it up $20,000. George has been on every season of The Mandalorian so far, on the set at least. He hasn't been really doing too much, but he's been involved in some sort of way. He's been on the set. So yeah, he'll definitely be on that movie for sure. Star Wars Politics says, I feel like they should make a trilogy out of all of these movies. Definitely the Dawn of the Jedi movie. The Dawn of the Jedi movie will get a trilogy for sure. The Rey movie will only get a trilogy if the first one is received well. I think it could be 10 and then there'll be an 11, 12, only if it's received well, which is a big if. He follows up and says, with the exception of Dave, he said. Yeah, so I doubt the Mandalorian movie is going to get 3, just because there's going to be so many different shows that are going to be intertwined into this movie, with Ahsoka, with Skeleton Crew, with the Mandalorian, with the Book of Boba Fett. So it'll already have so much content behind it. I don't think it's going to need a trilogy of movies, but we'll see. Honey Badger says, wait, wasn't that originally rumored to be Taika's movie? A movie set around the beginning of the Jedi, Sith, and Force. So we didn't really know much at all about Taika's movie. We don't even know still to this day anything about Taika's movie, whether it's in the works or not anymore. Who knows? And I'm sure we never will until we never get it. But there was some concept art like a long time ago, very early on, just like a drawing that Taika made, and it kind of seemed like it could have been an Origins of the Jedi type thing. But yeah, I mean, you could speculate about it all day long. Who knows? Who knows if that's what Taika's movie was going to be about? But yeah, we'll see. Honey Badger says, let's go. Din is that guy. Exactly. He's that guy. All right. Now on to TV shows. Please no more Taika movies. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I doubt we'll be seeing a Taika movie anytime soon, you know? It would be a dumb move, and I don't want to see it, honestly. I would not care if we did not get one. I'll put it that way. We'll put it that way. All right. On to TV shows, okay? So there's a few that I'm extremely excited for. I mean, extremely excited for. And let's start with the biggest and best one. The Ahsoka show. The Ahsoka show. Okay. So not only did we get more announcements about this, we got a freaking trailer. And that trailer was so ridiculously hyped. We broke it down live. We broke it down live again on Saturday. And it was just wild. The trailer was bonkers. It brought in Sabine, Harrison Dula, Chopper, Grand Admiral Thrawn, all of them into live action for the first time. We saw Zeb in live action for the first time a few weeks ago in The Mandalorian. Oh, and Ezra, by the way, the trailer did. We've seen Bo-Katan in live action and Ahsoka since Mando Season 2, but these 5 characters from Star Wars Rebels have yet to be seen in live action until this trailer dropped. They were like, hey, you want everything that you've ever loved in a trailer? Here you go, 1.5 minutes of greatness. World Between Worlds, introduction to Baylan and Shin, who will be the bad guys, with orange lightsabers and Inquisitors in there. You have what's her name? Morgan Elsbeth and her weird ship thing that'll take them to the New Beyond. You got a first look at Grand Admiral frickin' Thrawn, who is confirmed to be Lars Mikkelsen, who voiced him in Star Wars Rebels, which is very, very exciting. And it does not get better than this. The show comes out in August, which is still a few short 4 months away. But I literally don't think I could be more excited for a TV show than this one. I don't think I could. I don't think I could be more excited for a freaking TV show than the Ahsoka show. Now, Ahsoka has always been one of my favorite characters. When she came into live action in The Mandalorian, it was like, holy crap, it's happening. But to get her own show that involves the World Between Worlds, that involves the New Beyond, that involves one of my other favorite characters in Ezra Bridger, it involves the other Rebels cast, which is one of my favorite shows, season 4 being my favorite season of any show, involving Grand Admiral frickin' Thrawn, the heir to the Empire, bringing those legends into canon is insanity. Absolutely bonkers. Absolutely bonkers. That's what this is. That's what this is. It's bonkers. It's insanity, and it's insanity. So that was my Friday night and Saturday morning, was getting hyped for the Ahsoka show. So the Ahsoka show started the weekend off with those 3 movies as this just gigantic bang. It was like, holy crap, it's happening. Let's freaking go. And then we just kept going. So what did we think about the Ahsoka show trailer? Should we rank the trailer out of 10? You guys rank that trailer out of 10 for me. Let's rank the trailer out of 10. Let's rank that trailer out of 10. The Ahsoka trailer. You know, the one with Ahsoka and Sabine and Hera Syndulla and Chopper and Grand Admiral Thrawn and all the awesomeness with Balin and Shin in the World Between Worlds. Yeah, let's rank that trailer out of 10. Out of 10. Out of 10. You know, I'm usually fair with my rankings, you know? I like to keep it real. I like to keep it real with my rankings, you know? And like actually give you legitimate rankings for the stuff that I'm ranking. But here's the thing. When it comes to the Ahsoka trailer that we got, it breaks the scale. It literally breaks the scale. It breaks the scale. I've never given anything a 10 out of 10, except for maybe the Mandalorian finale, season 2 finale. Never. Like never. Never. Bumtendo Advanced hasn't even seen the trailer? What? Should we watch it? Should we watch it right now, Bumtendo? Should we watch it right now, Bumtendo? I'm down to watch it right now if you guys want to watch it right now. We want to watch the trailer right now. Should we watch the trailer right now? Should we watch the trailer right now? Zap says a 999 out of 10. Sounds about right. Sounds about right. Kyle says 10 out of 10, like Mike's personality. Exactly. Bumtendo says he hasn't seen it yet. Zap says, okay, but my legitimate ranking is a 9.5 out of 10. I'd give it a 10 out of 10. I'd give it an absolute 10 out of 10. Rewatch it right now. Give me more Sabine. Yes. Let's watch it. Bumtendo says, yeah, all right, we're watching the trailer. Let's do it. Why not? I can never get enough of this trailer. So why not? Why not? Has 10 million views on the Star Wars YouTube channel in just 4 days. 10 million. All right, let's watch it. No volume, of course. Don't want to get copyright. All that blah, 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 blah. Let's watch it. So it starts on like this Jedi temple looking thing. It's awesome. It's like a destroyed Jedi temple. And of course, my favorite scene throughout the whole trailer maybe is her forcing the lightsabers down. Let's watch it. Oh, hang on. Everybody calm down. We're watching it again. Hang on. So cool. Let's watch it one more time. And then I'm going to pause where we see the World Between Worlds. She's epic. So we see the World Between Worlds logo, symbols or whatever you want to call them behind her here in this Jedi temple. She's clearly trying to get into the World Between Worlds to do some investigation, to figure out how she can go back and save Anakin, go back and save Ezra, go back and change everything. And she's going to find out that is impossible, but it's going to give us the ability to watch her go fight Anakin on Mustafar, go try to kill Thrawn before he and Ezra disappear into the new beyond. Wild stuff. Oh, let me put the closed captioning on here. There we go. Sabine, first look ever at Sabine Wren in live action. Natasha something, Lee Bordizzo or something like that. Looks fantastic as Sabine. Got the hair and everything. Notice her long hair, because she's going to have short hair for like the second half of the season. At least we are supposed to believe that that she's going to have short hair in the second season to show that there was a time jump. But she's looking at her iconic helmet that's got all the paint on it. She's living in Ezra's house. You can see the stormtrooper helmets behind her. She looks great. A first look at a Loth wolf. Well, that's Sabine's face. First look at a Loth cat, I meant to say, in live action. Sabine looking out into the open. So this is when she comes back out of the hole that she just created. You can, oh, well, you can't see because my big ass head's in the way. But if we rewind, see this big hole right here? That's the one that she just awesomely created a few scenes before. But when she comes back out of this hole and probably comes back out of the world between worlds, she's getting attacked by Morgan Elsbeth's droids. So she works for Thrawn, these droids work for her, they work for Thrawn. So we're going to get a cool little battle here with these droids as well. Then this is the Phantom 2 chasing this part. Looks like the panel to the Death Star, but we know it's not. But it's something of significance. And you can see Hera Syndulla for the first time in live action, and Chopper for the first time in live action. But a fun fact about Hera Syndulla is she's played by Mary Elizabeth Winstead, who is married to Ewan McGregor, Obi-Wan Kenobi himself. So yes, in Star Wars canon, Hera Syndulla cheats on dead Kanan Jarrus and marries Obi-Wan Kenobi. It's canon. So, yeah. Then we get Chopper, who of course, top 3 droids. Easy. Then we get Baylan. First look at Baylan, first look at Shin, his apprentice. She's attacking some New Republic, whatever, this summer. So this, people are like, is this the epilogue from Rebels? Is it not the epilogue from Rebels? Here's a few different interpretations of this. Maybe it is, and they're trying to throw us off by giving Sabine the long hair, because we know she has the short hair in this scene. But in the next scene, we also see that Ahsoka's not wearing the right white robes. So maybe, again, they're just throwing us off by putting in fake scenes. But this, I mean, she's coming in the same ship she does in Rebels. She's being escorted by 2 X-Wings like she is in Rebels. It's a little weird. They're like trying to throw us off, but they're giving us the same exact scene. So, I don't know. Lothal looks great. That's Ezra's house, of course. This is Lothal in the background. It looks unbelievable. But Ahsoka's not in her white robes. This is the ship that she just pulled up in, and Sabine's still got her long hair. So it's been a while. Then we see Mon Mothma as a hologram talking to Hera Syndulla. Then we get Thrawn from behind. Pause. We get Thrawn and we see his head from behind. And he's in this ship. Notice, remember this ship because we're about to see it in a few scenes later. You got these circle things here. You got this giant arch right there. It's all golden inside. Of course, Thrawn is revealed to be, or Lars Mikkelsen is revealed to be playing Thrawn the day after this trailer was released. So remember that ship because you're about to see it again. Heir to the Empire, wild stuff. There's the ship again. Same exact ship that Morgan Elsbeth is right here from season 2. She's on the same exact ship. This is clearly supposed to be the ship that was in the rumors because Morgan Elsbeth was rumored to be creating a ship on Corvus in The Mandalorian season 2 that allows her to get to the new beyond because it's a hard place to get to. It's a hard place to navigate and get to. But this ship is supposed to be a special ship that can get them there. And Thrawn is on this ship later. So this is Baylan. Awesome, cool, gray beard. He looks badass. He's got some cool armor on too. We don't know who he is. He's rumored to be a Jedi who survived Order 66. But that's all just a rumor for now. We don't really know where he came from. Where'd he come from? Where'd he go? Where'd he come from? Cotton Eye Joe. He's got an orangish lightsaber. Dave Filoni confirmed himself that it is supposed to be orange, and people are supposed to notice that, and it will lead to something later, which is kind of crazy. Hera Syndulla talking to some people. Cool fight scene here. Shin flying in. I love the robotics of his movements here. It's just so cool. He's got like his own Vader hallway scene, just boom, 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 boom. Choking on a New Republic guy. First look at Ezra Bridger in live action. Awesome. Sabine again. And then this is an Inquisitor. We figured that out live. This is the 8th brother, the Inquisitor from the finale of season 2 of Rebels that is believed to be dead. So we don't know if this is a flashback or what's going on here. World Between Worlds, maybe. I can't wait for this show. Might just go to bed for the next 4 months and just wake up and watch this, So it comes out in August. Still no set release date, but it just says streaming in August. It's going to be wild. It's going to be the best, and I know I say this, the best Star Wars thing that we'll ever see, ever. I say it all the time, and you guys are probably like, oh, Mike's just getting hype again. I say things lightly, and this is something I say very, very lightly. The greatest thing that Star Wars has ever created. I'm not saying that about the next Mando episode. I'm saying that about this Ahsoka show. It's going to be the greatest thing that we've ever seen. And I will stand by that. So there you go, Bumtendo. There you go. Bumtendo says, a thing I do with my friends is a countdown from 3 to 1 and then hit sync. You completely lost me there. Honey Badger says, hot take. Ahsoka will have the best lightsaber action we've seen in live action, or maybe Star Wars, period. Wow, that would be wild. That is a hot take. Almost burnt my hand. Almost burnt my tongue saying that hot take. Why would I burn my hand? Honey Badger follows up and says, I was right about the orange sabers. Yes, you were. Yes, you were. Yes, you were. Yes, you were. Bumtendo says that train station setting looks interesting. Yeah, and she's fighting a freaking Inquisitor there too, which is weird. Bumtendo follows up and says, you're not allowed to like Star Wars. Well, guess what? I'm literally sitting here wearing a Star Wars shirt with Star Wars right behind me, with all things Star Wars right behind me, except for that golden Doctor Strange. Still have yet to swap him out, but he's the only non-Star Wars thing behind me. Oh, wait. Yeah, so he'll be out of there. We'll get that handled. But, yeah, can't like Star Wars, I guess, huh? Shucks. Honey Badger says, no, Mike, we believe the hype this time. Star Wars in general is moving in the right direction for once. It seems as though you might be right, sir. Good, sir. Bumtendo follows up and says, gonna have to go to Med Bay for that burn. Oh, for my burn of my tongue? Yes, I'm gonna have to go get that fixed, or I'll just drink some of my water in a nice cold water. Moving on. After the Ahsoka show, we had whoa, let me do the thing. Okay, after the Ahsoka show, the people at Star Wars Celebration were so graciously blessed with their eyes. That's how I'm going to phrase it. With a Skeleton Crew trailer. Nice, huh? Very nice, huh? Very nice, huh? A Skeleton Crew trailer. So Jude Law is going to be playing one of the main roles of the Skeleton Crew. It's going to have a majority, easy for you to say, young kid cast. It's going to have 4 main characters that are all like 12-year-olds-ish, 12 to 13-year-old-ish. And they're going to be these kids who go off on an adventure in Star Wars. It's supposed to take place in the New Beyond, but who knows? We'll see. But what we do find out, we didn't get to see the trailer for this. Sucks we didn't get to see it. But the people at Star Wars Celebration did. And of course, there was leaked videos. There was all this other stuff, leaked descriptions and stuff like that. What we did find out was Jude Law will be playing a Jedi Knight. Okay? He uses the Force in the trailer a few times, and he is a Jedi. Now, whether he was a Jedi who survived Order 66 or if he's just a Force user or something along those lines, we don't really know yet. But I'm actually really, really excited for the Skeleton Crew show. I'm obviously not as excited as I am for like even the Acolyte or the Ahsoka show, but I'm excited for the Skeleton Crew show because it kind of has the feeling of like, okay, this is going to be really, really good, but it's just riding under the radar right now. And the reason I think it's going to be really good, and we've talked about this many, many times, is because it's created through a passion project. John Watts, while working on Spider-Man No Way Home, was working with Jon Favreau and said, look, I got this idea for Star Wars. And John said, what me and Dave are doing in this Mando timeline right now, this would be perfect and it's genius. So we got to streamline this immediately. So I do believe that the Skeleton Crew show is going to be really, really good because, again, it's a passion project. It's something that was created out of a actual want to create something cool out of Star Wars. It wasn't created because the executive said, look, you have to make this show. It was created out of a passion project, and that's why I believe that the Skeleton Crew show is just going to fly under the radar until it comes out, and then we're going to be like, holy crap, this is really, 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 really good. But as of right now, all we know is Jude Law is going to be a Jedi, and the main cast for this is going to be 4 young actors or actresses. Do you know? Are we excited? Is there any excitement for the Skeleton Crew show? Let's check out the chat. Are we excited for the Skeleton Crew show? Anybody? Bumtendo says, I am very not in the know for Skeleton Crew. Yeah, because there's not really much to know. We don't know the plot of it. All we really know is that it takes place in the Mando timeline, and it's going to have Jude Law as a Jedi and 4 kids. 4 kid actors who are going to be the main cast. Honey Badger says, has anybody noticed how Ahsoka looks much more orangey brown than she did in Mando and Book of Boba Fett? She finally looks right. Well, yeah, they've definitely altered her look a little bit to make it probably more accurate. Who knows? Maybe. I feel like the Acolyte will be better than Skeleton Crew. Before Celebration, I felt the other way around. I think the Acolyte will be better, and as of right now, I'm way more excited for the Acolyte show, but the Skeleton Crew, I still believe is just going to be good. It's just that kind of passion project going under the radar, you know? Bumtendo says, I'm alright with Force users just doing basic stuff. Yeah, not every new Force user has to be more powerful than the last. You don't have to have the next dyad in the Force when you introduce another Force user. Like, Jude Law doesn't have to be the strongest Jedi to ever live. He can just be a guy who uses the Force. Swagger Like Us, what's up? Says, Skeleton Crew trailer looked promising, Mike. Amen. Did you get to see the trailer? I read the description. I heard about it. I've heard it's really, really good. Bumtendo says, I like Passion Project. I like when people care about what they actually make. Exactly. Look at The Mandalorian. The first 2 seasons of The Mandalorian are so freaking good because it's a passion project. Jon Favreau needed to make that show, and he did whatever he could. He bugged the hell out of Dave Filoni to make that show with him. Honey Badger says, I hope that it will be good. Skeleton Crew, that is. But same as you, I'm more excited for the Acolyte, especially now what we know about the Acolyte. All right, let's move on to the Acolyte, though. Let's move on to the Acolyte show, then. So, after the Skeleton Crew show, people were treated to a Acolyte show trailer. So this is the new logo for the Acolyte as well. I don't know what this whole thing going on right here means. Maybe it means nothing, or maybe it means something. But we'll figure that out in time. Now, again, we only got to read the description for this trailer. I didn't get to watch this. The people at Star Wars Celebration got to watch this. I've heard great things. But the one thing that stood out to me the most was that there was 8 Jedi at one point, all standing in a line, all igniting their lightsabers at the same time, all in the gold robes, all in the High Republic era. This show is going to take place 150 years, or 100 to 150 years, before the Phantom Menace. So it takes place in the High Republic era. It's the first thing to take place in the High Republic era. It's going to have countless amounts of Jedi wielding lightsabers. It's going to be a Sith-centered show, though. So it's going to have a bunch of Jedi, but it's going to be a Sith-centered show. The first ever Star Wars project to be Sith-centered. And it's going to have a Jedi Wookiee that a lot of people were really, really excited about over this weekend, because the guy who plays Chewbacca, the newer actor, I think his name is like Jonah or something along those lines, he played Chewie in the sequels, and he played Chewie in the Solo movie. He will be playing a Wookiee Jedi in the Acolyte show, which is very, very exciting. And just a bunch of Jedi and a bunch of Sith sounds great to me. A Sith-centered show is perfect. And hopefully we will see, as Darth Lopez always says in the chat, hopefully we will see a Darth Plagueis or some other Sith Lord that should be around at the time. I definitely think we'll see dark side users. Whether or not we see an actual Sith Lord still remains to be seen. Although there will be acolytes of the Sith, we don't know if they will be actual Sith Lords. So still, all of this is just rumored. A bunch of the trailer did confirm a bunch of some of the rumors, but it didn't really do much story-wise. Didn't tell us what the story of it was going to be. It just showed us a bunch of cool shots of Jedi standing around wielding lightsabers. Showed us a couple fight scenes with like the main character Amandla Steinberger, whatever her name is, using a knife to fight somebody. Like there were some cool scenes in the trailer, but there wasn't really any plot like actually explained about the Acolyte show. It's still a ways away. So the Skeleton Crew will come out by the end of this year. The Ahsoka show comes out in August, but this is still a year away. This doesn't come out until 2024, probably early 2024, I'd guess around the same time The Mandalorian came out this year. So probably that February, March release date, I would hope. But yeah, this is really ramping up my excitement. The Ahsoka show is obviously still my most anticipated show, but this one is creeping up not that far behind it. And again, one of the bigger problems that I have with this show is that Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni are not involved at all. So it's Leslie Headland. A lot of people have a lot of issues with Leslie Headland. I don't have any issues with her right now. Depending on how this show goes, I might have some issues with her. But we know how shows go with Star Wars that aren't involving Jon and Dave. They don't go all that well. So hopefully this show changes that narrative, and this show gets Star Wars outside of the Mandoverse back on track. And it brings us into the High Republic. It's the first project to be in the High Republic. Give us High Republic Jedi. Give us a Sith-centered show, which is cool as well. And it's rumored to be more than one season. It has yet to be confirmed about that, but it could be more than one season. So is there any hype for the Acolyte show out there? Is anybody getting really, 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 really excited for the Acolyte show? Honey Badger says, Swagger Like Us says, people forget that the original trilogy was also a passion project. George Lucas never expected Star Wars would become a pop culture phenomenon and make history. It's true. George Lucas just had an idea, and he begged studios to give him money to create it, and one guy at 20th Century Fox gave him the money to do it, and he created Star Wars. And even when it was released, nobody really believed in it until it was just this hit sensation. And I mean, nobody has been able to recreate that. You have other worlds like Harry Potter or even the Lord of the Rings or something along those lines. Like, they're big and their fan bases are kind of big, but nothing compares to Star Wars. Nothing compares to the, like, just gigantic fan base, but also the gigantic world that it is. It's an entire galaxy where anything is possible and all stories can be fleshed out. Bumtendo says, I kind of like it when new people get involved with Star Wars as well. Yeah, so I think if the Acolyte show is good, it would be a gigantic dub for Star Wars fans. Because again, Jon and Dave aren't involved, and although we want Jon and Dave to be involved in everything, they can't. They don't have enough time in the day to be involved in everything and make everything still be good. So hopefully the Acolyte show can get on that track. Honey Badger says, I'm excited. Finally get to see a Sith-centered show and light side users. I want to see lightsabers swinging, colors clashing, force used, the way that we haven't seen lately. It's true. We have yet to see lightsabers clashing in a while. Other than, like, Obi-Wan versus Vader, that's pretty much it. The Ahsoka show is going to see plenty of lightsaber on lightsaber action, but yeah, we want a whole show about Jedi versus Sith, like some actual lightsabers getting it on. Pause. Okay, let's keep moving. So after the Acolyte show, we have some other kind of cool announcements. So these are further away, all supposed to be around next year-ish. But next up would be The Bad Batch Season 3. Now, The Bad Batch Season 2 left us on some crazy cliffhangers. Tech, is he dead? Omega's on Mount Tantus. Crosshair's on Mount Tantus. Like, some crazy stuff happened at the end of that second season that really built towards a third season. And I'm actually kind of really excited for this third season. But the biggest news about this third season is it is the last season of The Bad Batch. So this will be the end of The Bad Batch in this third season, which is kind of a bummer. But I mean, this show couldn't go on forever. And of course, this third season, as we know on this channel, will end with all of them lining up and Vader just slicing all their heads off. It had to happen at some point. But Vader will be chopping all of their heads off at the end of this season. The Bad Batch Season 2 had its filler episodes for sure, but Season 2 was definitely better than Season 1, and it ended in a great, spectacular way. You had the Emperor episode, you have the Commander Cody episode, the other Crosshair episodes were fantastic. You had the 3 episodes to end the season were very, very, very good, I believe, unless I'm misremembering. I know there was one filler episode in there, but I remember that towards the end, we were like, okay, this show is good. It actually is good. And there's some filler episodes in there, but overall, it is good. So I can't wait for the third season. I hope it's coming sooner rather than later. It probably won't come until like summer or May 4th of next year, but it is the final season of the show, which is kind of a bummer. But, you know, Vader had to chop off their heads at some point, and it seems as though next year will be that year. So what do we think about that? Now, there are some people rumored to show up in this show as well, like Wolf. Wolf is, of course, seen in Star Wars Rebels with Rex when they are all older and hanging out, and Gregor, I think. And so Wolf's going to be in this season. Who else was rumored? Somebody in chat remind me. Who else was rumored in this? Rex, Wolf. Who else? Bumtendo says, what's up with Scorch? I don't know. Do you think we'll ever see Scorch again? I mean, we haven't seen him in a while. Bumtendo says, Darth Vader be like, hey, you remember me? You remember me? A friend of Rex's. It's true. I mean, do you think he will remember Rex? If Vader goes face to face with Rex, that would actually be kind of cool. Like, and Vader just like stops for a second. That would be cool. Bumtendo says, I feel like we've had slow Darth Vader and amped up fast Darth Vader. What? I feel like we have had slow Darth Vader and amped up fast Darth Vader. You lost me there. We've had both of them? I'm confused. Cody, Commander Cody, yes. Hopefully Commander Cody's in that third season. I mean, he just disappeared in the second season and never came back. So, yeah, maybe. But there were some other animated shows that were announced. So this one I am very, very excited for, and I'm sure many of you are as well. Bumtendo says, I mean in motion on films. Rogue One was where he was having it all at the Rebels. Yeah, no, true. Darth Vader in Rogue One is just badass as balls, but you know. But the other animated show that was also announced was Season 2 of Star Wars Visions. So there was a trailer also released with this. This comes out in just a few short weeks. It comes out on May 4th. So Star Wars Visions, a lot of people loved the first season. I go back and forth with it in my head. I know there's really, really good episodes, but there are also very, very bad episodes. So I'm really hoping Season 2 weeds out the worser episodes. Worser's a word. Look it up. Just kidding. I doubt it is. But I hope it weeds out the more bad episodes. And we will hopefully get a better second season of this show as well. Should we watch the trailer for this? Do you guys want to watch the trailer for Star Wars Visions? Do you want to watch the trailer for Star Wars Visions? Bumtendo says, I was hoping for more Visions. Ooh, this is getting me actually hyped, really. Big Star Wars Visions fan. So Visions is the only thing that Star Wars is creating that is actually non-canon, which is crazy. Swagger Like Us says, The Bad Batch Season 3, The Clown Rebellion. Okay. All right, let's watch the trailer for Star Wars Visions. Let's watch the trailer for Star Wars Visions. Speculate Gus follows up and says, I wish Ronan got another episode. Me too. I mean, he gets his own book, like if you want to go read the Ronan book, but I wish we got like a whole season on the Ronan episode. But let's watch the Visions trailer. Let's watch the Visions trailer. Let's watch it. Let's watch it. This, wow. Wait, what? Oh no, that's season 1's trailer. Hang on. That's season 1's trailer. All right. This one has 2 million views in the last day. Wow. A lot of Star Wars Visions fans out there. I'm actually surprised. I mean, I like the show, but I mean, this is that's some crazy numbers right there. All right. Here's the trailer for Star Wars Visions season 2. So there the only difference between this and season 1 is that it's multiple, like season 1 was only Japanese animation companies that were creating the season. This is companies all around the world. So you're going to see a ton of different animation styles. I just poured some water on myself, but you know, that's how the stream works, I guess. Bring on the good cup. All right. Here we go. No volume as always. Can't get copy struck. So this is who's supposed to be the Sith. I mean, he kind of has a Malgus look to him and like a Grand Inquisitor type thing. Looks badass. Looks awesome. And the animation on him looks unbelievable. Look at that lightsaber. Star Wars Visions. And it turns to red. I love it. There's some lightsaber on lightsaber combat. She's clearly got like a sword looking saber too. Animation looks unbelievable there. See, this is complete different animation, like almost every scene. 9 different studios. So there's 9 episodes, 9 different studios. From all around the world. Look at that. You got like a Wallace and Gromit type animation, claymation type thing here. I mean, some of it looks like the Bad Batch almost, like that kind of quality. It's like all over the place, which is so cool. I mean, each individual episode is going to be just a completely different story, completely different animation, completely different awesomeness. And it is, of course, all legends, but I mean, look at this. One kid versus a TIE fighter. It does get you really excited. It does get you really, really excited. Bunch of lightsaber duels. Like, they can do whatever they want because it's legends. Got the Grievous mobile. Ooh, double-sided red lightsaber. Definitely got to go rewatch season 1 again. Get excited. Star Wars Visions. So this is May 4th. May 4th. Let's try and just pause a few of these different animation styles. There's some really cool ones in here. Hang on. So you got this one so this is kind of like an Avatar-ish looking one, like the Avatar animation, Avatar: The Last Airbender. Then you got like this, and I can't even think of a comparison for that one. That's like some real anime stuff. But look at this Stormtrooper one. Like, this actually looks like they're trying to make it like the Clone Wars kind of meets like they're trying to make live action almost. Like, it looks real. This is like the Wallace and Gromit one. Claymation type stuff. And the one complaint I had about the first season was that a few of the episodes were just like not good. But I mean, some of it, like this looks like Bad Batch material. Like, this looks good, real good. And I know a ton of people out there are huge Star Wars Visions fans. So, I mean, it's got 2 million views in the first day. So it's got to be, some people must be really, really excited. I mean, I'm excited for it. I'm just not as excited as I am for some other things, you know. Bumtendo says, I only have seen 3 episodes of Visions, but I like that it was an anthology. So, like, there's some stuff that I have not experienced yet. The Slug musical was funny. Slug musical. I don't remember that one. Yeah. Don't know about the robot chicken stop motion style. Actually, it takes me back. I take it back. I do appreciate the different styles. Yeah. Swagger Like Us says, give me liquid television vibes. Yeah, kind of. Bumtendo Like Us says, next month is going to be a good month. Caroline Star Wars. Love it. Next month is going to be a good month. I mean, so May the 4th is that, is Star Wars Visions. It's also that Young Jedi Adventure show if you're a child. I'm probably not even going to watch that, honestly. It could be the first Star Wars project I haven't watched in a long, long time. But that's coming out as well on May the 4th. I mean, it's just going to be May the 4th in general, so I'm sure we'll get some announcements and some other things like that. But I think May 5th is when Guardians of the Galaxy comes out, and hopefully we just get some more Star Wars hype going on in May as well. But after Star Wars Visions, there's even more announcements. So this was also granted with a trailer to the people at Star Wars Celebration, but not to us. It was Andor Season 2. Now, I know I crap on Andor a lot, but the first season wasn't that bad, okay? It was actually kind of good. And the quality and the cinematography and all that stuff was very, 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 very good. So I actually look forward to the second season. It's just like there's so much more stuff that I would way rather watch than the Andor show. But we did get some cool news about the Andor show. Like just the description of the trailer sounded fun. But yeah, I have better things to do than Andor. But of course, Cal Kestis and Jedi Survivor comes out April 28th. The end of this month it comes out, and it sponsored the entire weekend. We got a new trailer for it. Let's definitely watch the new trailer for Jedi Survivor, like right now, please. Let's do it right now. Jedi Survivor trailer. We gotta watch this. This is the final trailer. Yeah, here we go. Final trailer for Jedi Fall Survivor, and this is awesome. I'm so excited for this game. Like, Cameron Monaghan came out and talked about the game, and he was like, please don't spoil it for anybody. The ending of this game is insane. It's the coolest ending of anything we've ever done, blah, blah, blah. And I was just like, yes, don't be spoiling it. I'm a play through the game as fast as I possibly can because I'm really bad at video games, but I like to play them anyway. But I'm so ridiculously excited for this game. Like, so ridiculously excited for this game. I know that the ending's going to be mind-blowing. I just know it. Oh, are we excited for this game? Are we excited for Jedi Survivor? Are we excited for Jedi Survivor? Are we? Are we? Are we? Are we excited? Are we excited? Are we excited? Swagger Like Us says Ponchos rock. Yeah, so Cameron Monaghan, who plays Cal Kestis, came out onto stage and kept asking about the ponchos, and it was hilarious. He was wearing a poncho. It was really, really funny. Then he gave out his poncho to a fan. It was really funny. Honey Badger says, on a phone call right now, but I'm still here. My apologies. Hey, don't worry about it, man. Thanks for the support. Bumtendo says, I am slow to the party on video games too. I have been raising my eyebrows at the Ubisoft KOTOR stuff. The writing in it seems fantastic. Yeah, so the KOTOR remake hopefully is still greenlit. It's just stalling right now. The Ubisoft open world game is still being created, and that sounds unbelievable. Yeah, there's some cool video games on the horizon for Star Wars, but this one is at the end of this month. Swagger Like Us says Game of the Year candidate for sure. I think this could win Game of the Year. Like, definitely. I don't know what other video games come out this year, honestly. I'm not that big into video games, unless they're Star Wars, but yeah, I do hope so. I do hope so. Bumtendo says, I am a poncho appreciator. I have 3 in real life. Really, ponchos? I gotta get myself a Cal Kestis poncho, honestly. I like the idea of an open world Star Wars game. Dude, Star Wars has been built to get open world games. And the only thing we've gotten that's close to that really is Jedi Fallen Order, and that's not really an open world game at all. Like, maybe you could argue the Lego Star Wars Skywalker saga, but is an open world game, but it still seems very confined to like certain areas, and it's not really open world. Yeah. Honey Badger says Cal's ponchos for all of us on mic. Maybe. If I'm feeling generous. Bumtendo says Lego Star Wars is kind of open world. Yeah, it is. It kind of is, but it's not really. I mean, it kind of. It is Lego. It is Lego. All right, let's watch this trailer. Let's watch this trailer for the final trailer for Jedi Survivor. May contain content inappropriate for children. So I'd like to mention right here, game engine footage, not all images appear in the game. But you see Cal struggling here in some desert storm or something like that. So you can tell this is only going to be on the new consoles, the Xbox Series S and Series X, the PlayStation 5 and PCs. So it visually looks stunning, like absolutely stunning. It's going to look visually very, very appealing. And it's going to be so much bigger than the first game. It is over 100 gigabytes bigger than the first game. It is 155 gigabytes. This game is enormous. And they say that there's 7 worlds that are almost open world kind of concepts. And one of the worlds is Coruscant. So it's wild. See some TIE fighters flying by right there. See him just using some combat. See BD scanning this huge droid thing. BD's got some boosters too. Cal's rocking the nice beard. So there's a lot of villains in this game. It's not just stormtroopers. It's not just the Empire. That's so badass. Let's rewind that. Let's he tosses him into a TIE fighter. So this is him on Coruscant. You can see Coruscant in the background there. You can see Coruscant right here, the Jedi freaking temple. But we know this isn't the Jedi temple right now. This is actually Palpatine's headquarters. When the Empire takes over, the Jedi temple is no longer the Jedi temple because all the Jedi are dead, but it is Palpatine's headquarters. You see some stormtroopers. You got Marin. So this is, we don't know where this place really is, but this seems to be where the other bad guys are going to be, the pirates, as it were. This is his new friend. And then, by the way, yeah, you fight a Rancor. You fight a Rancor in this game. A freaking Rancor. I know. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. You fought an AT in the first one. You got Marin and Cal working together, her using magic, him using the Force. You got Darth Scrotum here as well, and he looks to be a pretty good bad guy. He's working with the guy who's in the back of the tank as well. We don't really know who it is yet. You fight Darth Scrotum as well. Come on. This is epic. You got freaking droidicas, and this is a separatist ship. This is the same separatist ship, or not the same exact one, but it is a separatist ship, like the one that Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan get on in episode 1. Like, this is the same sort of ship. What is Cal Kestis doing on one of these ships? It's crazy. It's crazy. But you get to fight droidicas. Oh, so many new ways to use his lightsaber, so many new Force abilities. Like, this game is going to be wild. You get another look at the guy from the Bacta tank. We still don't know who he is. It's rumored he's going to be a High Republic Jedi. Is he going to be in the Acolyte show? Is he going to be from the books, the High Republic books? So many questions. They're literally trying to force fight for this thing that's in the middle of them. We don't know what this is, but we also see him. We see the guy from the back of the tank holding it in one of the other trailers. You get to ride that cool thing. new fighting styles. Seems to be like co-op of some sorts because he's always fighting with somebody else. Fighting Darth Scrotum still. This game's, what's today's date? The 11th? This game's 17 days away. That's like barely over 2 months. 2 weeks. This game is right around the corner. Right around the corner. And it's wild. I cannot wait for this game. This final trailer also has 2 million in 2 million views in 2 days, and it's 48th on trending. It's crazy. This is craziness. This is unprecedented times for Star Wars fans, for all the insane amount of content that we're getting. Not only TV shows, but now 3 movies and now video games that are all looking spectacular. Like, it's awesome. It is, and I've said it a million times, it is the best time to be a Star Wars fan. The best time. Honey Badger says there's supposedly open world Coruscant and a Jedi Temple rumored in Jedi Survivor. Yeah, so there's going to be 7 worlds that are pretty much open world, and Coruscant is one of them. Bumtendo says, I kind of don't like how uncompressed it is. I have done game dev stuff, and it usually textures and sounds interesting. It usually textures and sound. You completely lost me on that. Maybe I just read that completely wrong, but I have no idea what you're talking about. Interesting. A floating droid. Yes. Swagger Like Us says, Marin and Cal sequence, let's go. Yeah. One's using the Force. One's using magic because she's a freaking Night Sister. It's wild. It's wild. It's wild. Honey Badger says, this game is going to be insane. It's going to be absolutely wild. Should we do a Jedi Fallen Order run-through on the channel? I know Star Wars Stu is begging for it. Should we do it? Bumtendo says, I want to fight the AT-RT. Yeah, so you do in the first game too as well, you know? Dr. Robot Nick sends in the gang signs from Star Trek. Bumtendo says, I still have to finish the first game. The first game ends also very, very well. I won't spoil it for you, but Darth Vader shows up and kills the second sister, and then Cal Kestis has to fight Darth Vader and escapes. No spoilers there. It's only been out for 4 years. Sorry. Honey Badger says, I'm trying to beat it before Jedi Survivor, but the Jedi Master difficulty sucks. Ask Mike. Yeah, no, I'm probably going to play on like the easiest game difficulty, so it looks like I'm really good at it when I play it on stream, and you guys are going to be like, oh my god, Mike's so good at video games. He's really good at Star Wars video games. Maybe we should watch him more, you know? Bumtendo says, honestly, I feel that. It's been the best time to be a Star Wars fan. It really has. Like, I mean, look at just last weekend. We got 3 movies announced. Like, I can't even count how many shows announced. We got another trailer for the Ahsoka show, another trailer for our first trailer for Visions. We got another trailer for Jedi Fallen Order. Survivor. We got leaked trailers for Skeleton Crew, Acolyte, Andor, like all this stuff. It's the best time to be a Star Wars fan. And tomorrow's Mando episode, which we're going to get into, I promise, we're going to get into it, is gonna blow minds. It's gonna absolutely blow minds. It will, I promise. But don't blame me if it doesn't. Bumtendo says the gang sign from Star Trek. Yeah. He follows up and says, live long and prosper. Yeah, no. We don't talk about that stuff here. Dr. Robot Nick says, Grandmaster isn't so bad. So how does it go? Is Grandmaster like the hardest one? Did you beat it in Grandmaster, Dr. Robot Nick? It seems like you would be that kind of guy. Honey Badger says, man, I die to bugs and fall more than stormtroopers or inquisitors. Yeah, no, I fell off the map like 1,000 times playing through that game the first time. I remember it all too well. 10-minute version. You actually did it on Grandmaster? Oh, come on. Come on. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. Okay, here are some good news that didn't get announced this weekend. So, or like kind of got whatever. Kenobi Season 2 was not announced, which I believe is good news. I know some people out there wanted Kenobi Season 2. I think it's the greatest news ever. They should have never done that in the first. I mean, well, I liked the season and the idea of the season, and how the rematch of the century, how it answers all the questions from A New Hope. But now, don't touch the character ever again. He's perfect. Keep him there. Maybe he can show up as a Force Ghost or something. Just keep him where he is. Okay, no more. We also rarely saw Kathleen Kennedy, which was great. She was barely even there. Hopefully, she's almost out the door completely. And we saw Dave Filoni a shit ton. He was there all the time. He was on a lot of the panels. He was involved in a lot of the announcements. He is involved in a lot of stuff, which is great news. One of the weirder things, and maybe you could think of it as bad news, is no Pedro Pascal. He wasn't even there. Now, he is a busy man. I'll give him that. He is a busy man. But with all the rumors of what's going on behind the scenes and the Mandalorian and all that stuff, Pedro not being there, kind of strange. Kind of strange. I don't know. Another kind of bad news type thing. Kevin Feige's movie is not happening. Kevin Feige's Star Wars movie, not happening. Kathleen Kennedy almost made it sound like it was never happening. It's just not happening. Not happening at all. Great news, like one of the greatest news I've ever heard in my life. Rian Johnson's trilogy, nowhere close to being even anywhere near development, and it's probably not going to happen. Probably, which is great. Great. Keep Rian Johnson as far away from Star Wars as possible. Thank you and goodbye. We don't want him anywhere near here. Let's just keep like a Rian Johnson do not enter sign outside the gates and all that stuff, you know? Yeah, exactly. Honey Badger says lightsabers are not baseball bats, and Grandmaster is crazy. Yes. Dr. Robot Nick says replayed it recently on PS5 with ray tracing. It was beautiful. Yeah, so think about this next game. This next game is going to blow freaking minds with how amazing it looks. Nintendo Advanced says, whenever I think of bad Star Wars news, I think of Harrison Ford. I'm guessing Harrison Ford. Harrison Ford getting attacked by a Star Wars door. What? Okay. Yes. Sure. What? Okay. Honey Badger says, Din wasn't that guy at Celebration, but I called it. Bo is pushing Din out. Katie Sackhoff was at Celebration. I mean, if you guys missed that, I said, I don't know. Maybe you're right, but who gives a flying rat's ass? Bo-Katan's the best. Kind of a crazy thing is, a lot of people are upset about the Rey movie because it's a female-centered movie. It's directed by a female. It's blah 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 blah. All that woke garbage. But here's the thing: the Ahsoka show. You have Ahsoka, Sabine, Hera Syndulla, Shin, Morgan Elsbeth. It is almost all females except for Thrawn and Balin. And nobody cares because guess what? They're good, great written female characters that people enjoy and love and know and actually think of some of the greatest characters in Star Wars. So who cares? It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. And Bo-Katan is what made me think of that, because Bo-Katan is such a great character. Such a great character. It doesn't matter if she's a girl or a boy or even just a freaking robot. It doesn't matter. Dr. Robot Nick says, wasn't Pedro Pascal promised he could take his helmet off more? I mean, no. I think he wanted to take it off more, and that's kind of the conflict, but I don't think he was ever promised that. Nintendo Advance says, when Harrison Ford got recast for episode 7, his foot got recast. Oh, got like casted again for Star Wars. Yeah, I know what you mean. He got his foot stuck in a door, and he was pretty resentful to come back for Han Solo. Huh, I did not know that, actually. That's funny. Honey Badger says, I give a flying womp rat. I don't want Din to leave. It's his and Grogu's show and story. He's not going to leave. He's not going to get killed off or just leave the show. But Bo-Katan getting more of the limelight is not a problem for me. But yeah, I definitely don't think... I do believe Din's still going to be in the show. He's not going to just die off. Like, that's not... They're smarter than that. John and Dave... Even if John had a huge problem with Pedro Pascal, he's a professional guy. He's not going to just kill off a character just to be mad at one actor. It's not how it works. Dr. Robot Nick says, I think they could totally phase out Din. They could phase him out, sure, but it does, like, he'll still be in the show and he will be in the movie that Dave Filoni creates. And then have him cameo on his own show. That would be pretty funny. But yeah, no, I could see that happening as well. I could see that happening for sure. I remember there's one other thing I wanted to... Oh yeah, we got to talk about this next episode. We got to talk about this next episode for The Mandalorian. So it's rumored to be around 50-ish minutes. I forget what the exact time was. But a lot of people at Star Wars Celebration got to see the entire episode 7 of The Mandalorian. And they say that not only was it really, really good, tied in a lot of the season 3 loose ends and all that other stuff. Not only that, it is what some people are saying, the best episode of the entire Mandalorian series. Like, better than the Ahsoka episode in season 2, the Boba Fett episode in season 2, and even the Luke Skywalker episode in season 2. And I know that sounds absolutely bonkers. How could this episode of season 3 that has been very, very slow so far, that's coming off of the last episode that wasn't really that good, how could it be that much better? Honestly, I don't want to get you guys too excited, just in case all these people that saw it were wrong, but many, I would only tell you guys this and try to get you extremely excited for this next episode if I knew that it was true. Okay? I wouldn't just be sitting here saying, I'm really, really excited for the next episode. Yeah. After the last episode. I saw the last episode. You guys saw the last episode. The last episode was a letdown, to say the least. It was a filler episode. It was a letdown at the wrong time after episode 5 was very, very good. And we were really excited to see Moff Gideon. Who saved Moff Gideon? We've been asking that question for weeks now. But I would not be sitting here after what happened last week. I would not be sitting here saying the next episode, tomorrow's episode, could be the greatest episode of the entire series if I wasn't told this by like over 15 people in the DMs on Twitter, DMs on Instagram, DMs. People I personally know that went to Star Wars Celebration that I kind of trust loosely trust their judgments. But here are some other people that this is just people I don't know, but these are people who went to Star Wars Celebration and saw the episode themselves. So here is what some of them were saying. Hang on. Star Wars Politics says, Star Wars Meg said that you have to watch The Force Awakens before this episode. Wait, what? For real? So what a lot of people have been saying is that the last 2 episodes will be sequel connected, and that's what might throw a lot of people off. But really? She said that. Have you said that? Have you been on the same page with these people on other episodes? Yes. So actually a few of them actually really disliked the last episode even more than I did, and they still loved this episode, which is kind of crazy. Bumtedo says, Jack Black becomes the villain. Yeah. Swagger says, I heard Dave Filoni wrote this episode. Yes, so Dave Filoni is a co-writer on this episode, which again is very promising and is very happy, or it makes me very happy, I should say. But here's what some people were saying. Rey connection, question mark? It's possible, I guess. I mean, I don't know if Meg is saying that. I mean, Meg is a pretty good source. She's not right 100% of the time. But if she's saying that she saw the episode and saying that you should watch The Force Awakens before you watch the episode, that's interesting. She's not saying you should watch the entire sequel trilogy. She's saying you should watch The Force Awakens, meaning there's a specific connection to The Force Awakens and not the other two movies, not The Last Jedi, not The Rise of Skywalker, just The Force Awakens, which is very, very interesting. Maybe the guy from the beginning of The Force Awakens. Oh my God, dude! What's that guy's name? Oh, he's in this book. He's in Shadows of the Sith. What the hell's his name? What's his name? Oh, it'll come to me. But somebody please look it up because it's not going to come to me. What's his name? I can't think of it, but the old guy who Kylo Ren kills in the opening scene of The Force Awakens is he's not a Force wielder, but he's a follower of the Force, and he works very, very closely with Luke Skywalker as he creates his Jedi Temple, and he is one of the people who goes around Lor San Tekka. So he goes around with Luke. It's Lor, I think, not Lord, but Lor San Tekka. He goes around the galaxy with Luke, the map making dude. Yeah, the map making dude. The guy who gives Poe Dameron the map to Luke Skywalker. So the reason he's close with Luke Skywalker is before Luke even creates his Jedi Temple, he goes around the galaxy with Luke to find artifacts, Sith artifacts, Jedi artifacts. He goes around the galaxy searching for artifacts. This is crazy. If Lor San Tekka's in this episode, that would be the coolest thing ever. He is a character that needs to be fleshed out a lot more. Tomorrow's a good time to watch The Force Awakens. Hashtag The Mandalorian. I might have to watch The Force Awakens tonight. Hang on. After this, I might... Oh, she said that's what she said. That's what she said? Like Michael Scott? I know, you guys can't see it, but over there, hanging on my ceiling, I have Michael Scott, and it says that's what she said. Tomorrow's a good time to watch The Force Awakens, is what Star Wars Mag said. That's wild. Oh, that just made me really, really excited. And I know it's a sequel connection that actually made me excited. I actually believe that it will be I actually think that it will be a connection to Snoke. I feel like it still will be a connection to Snoke because the Praetorian Guards that we've been talking about that will have Mandalorian armor and something like that or along those lines. She also said that a lot of First Order connections could be coming soon. Yeah, so the First Order has kind of been teased out since the first season of The Mandalorian. All this remnant of the Empire is eventually going to turn into the First Order. But Supreme Leader Snoke has to be the guy who does it. He has to be the guy who comes in and takes over. And Palpatine's contingency plan and all that fun stuff. So, yeah, it's going to be wild. It's going to be wild, and I can't freaking wait. I can't wait. But here's what some people were saying. Here's what some people who saw the episode at Star Wars Celebration are saying. So this is Julian Wienert. Unfortunate. He says, Episode 7 steers the series in a clear direction. The first few minutes already make you wonder if this is really season 3, as the narrative style is more like season 1 and season 2. So yeah, before I even keep reading this, they've saying that the first few, like a bunch of the people were saying, the first few minutes of this episode feel completely different, feel like season 1 and 2 again, feel like a completely different show than this season 3 has been in the past. So it feels like season 1 and season 2 again in the first few minutes. So some crazy cool action sequence or something cool is going to happen in these first few minutes of the episode. Julian Wienert keeps saying, it's an unfortunate name. There is also no lack of exciting Mando action hype, which hides one or two surprises. Lor San Tekka. If it's Lor San Tekka, I'm going to be so excited. Okay. Overall, this is a solid, emotional, and exciting episode that leaves fans wanting more. Yes! Julian Wienert for the win. Let's go. Julian Wienert. Yes. So excited. Okay, let's keep reading. Christian Knight. Not as cool of a name, Christian. Sorry, hate to break it to you, but it's not. Okay, definitely the best episode so far in the series. Pacing was much better, and a fantastic hint. Lore Synteca. Okay, Star Spaltis, you got me hooked. You got me hooked on Lore Synteca. Okay, sorry. Okay, sorry. Where was I? Pacing was much better, and a fantastic hint at what is to come in Ahsoka, which is the next series, and the next series of The Mandalorian. I can't wait for the finale. Hints at Ahsoka. Boom. We got Grand Admiral Thrawn connections. I've heard this from many, many sources. Grand Admiral Thrawn is heavily, what's the word I'm looking for? Heavily alluded to in this episode. Grand Admiral Thrawn. So this person, Christian Knight, is saying that it's a fantastic hint as to what is to come in the Ahsoka show and the next season of The Mandalorian. So, which is crazy. Or next in the series of The Mandalorian, so the finale. Fulcrum Legacy, ooh, that's a cool name, says it's a massive step up from all the previous episodes. Great to hear. Also, is tied up together in a really cool way. The only thing I could add without spoiling anything is yes, Fulcrum Legacy. That's what I like to hear. This is what we like to hear. Now again, this source that we're reading this from isn't like just a straight Star Wars lovers account. Galaxy Transmission on Instagram is a very, very good source that is very impartial. So if there was people saying bad shit about this episode, they would also throw that in there as well. But all three of these people so far have really good opinions. We're going to keep going. But what Fulcrum was saying there is everything has been... everything is tying up very cool in a cool way, but he says it's also a very massive step up from all the previous episodes of this season, which is very, very, very exciting. So let's keep reading. Jama Leastman, interesting, says it was great. The crowd was cheering super loud. Well, duh, it's Star Wars Celebration. They'll cheer at anything at sometimes, but everybody I talked to said it was their favorite episode of the season, and I agree. I think the episode is definitely going to give the season the direction that it needs, albeit a bit late in the season for that. So this person has been very upset with season 3, clearly, but they do believe that this will put the season back on track, even though there's only one episode left, which is very, very exciting. Also, they're saying that it's their favorite episode of the season. Like, people have been crapping on season 3, but don't forget about episode 2, where they go to Mandalore. There's all that Mandalorian lore. You got Bo with a darksaber, and you see a fucking mythosaur. I mean, freaking mythosaur. Like, there have been some decent episodes in this season. Like, this whole season hasn't just been garbage. Like, there's been some decent episodes. So the fact that it's going to be the best one so far is very, very good. Joshua Farr says, it was definitely the best one yet. Lots of big reveals and amazing action. Another person to say that there's awesome action, which is so cool. We haven't really gotten much cool action, except for in episode 5, which again is another really, really good episode where the pirates versus the Mandalorians, and it's just some cool action scenes. He says amazing action, definitely leading to a big finale. Let's go. I'm so excited for the Mandalorian episode that comes out tomorrow. Might have to stay up till 3 a.m. to watch it. Whew. Yes. Oh, I forgot I was supposed to say rumor every time I say rumor, and I've said rumor like 1,000 times today on stream. Somebody's got to remind me for that shit. Come on, guys. Andrea, like Beyonce, Andrea says, I was not expecting anything like that to happen in this episode. It's big, it has a lot of feeling, and there was crying in the audience. Din Djarin's dying. Sorry, Honey Badger. Crying in the audience. Din Djarin's dead. He's a goner. Just kidding. There was crying in the audience, though that might have been because of the emotions of the whole day. After that funny last episode, it got really serious again and brought back to what they were doing here. Brought back what they are doing here and what they are working for. So it's finally brought us back into the story. That last episode, that was a filler episode, that was a goofy episode with Jack Black and Lizzo. It's over and done with. They did it. They're done with it. And now we're moving on to bigger and better things. Ronan __ C10. What a great name. Says, it was brilliant. A step up from episode 6, which I personally did not like. For me, this episode was the best episode so far this season. This episode was fully focused on the plot, and the first 5 minutes of the episode will get you hyped for the rest. Again, first 5 minutes are going to get you hyped. And I'm excited. Insert name, Rush, says, it's really, really good. Makes me wish episode 5 was episode 6, and episode 6 was earlier on in the season. That's what we talked about last week. If episode 6, this filler episode with Jack Black and Lizzo, was earlier on in the season as a filler episode, people wouldn't be as upset because it was a little bit of fun in there with Jack Black. And if episode 5, which was really, really good, was episode 6 instead, then people would be a lot more happy. But he says, it was really, really good. It makes me wish that episode 5 was episode 6 and episode 6 was earlier in the season, but it's emotional, exciting, and full of drama, and sets up an exciting finale. Again, like the 10th person to say, it sets up an exciting finale. Spunkit, sure, says, it was amazing. The story is speeding up and finally something big is happening. I really felt hope for all Mandalorians. You will have so much to talk about once it is out. I'm really excited for Thursday's stream. I was regardless, but this is getting me more and more excited for Thursday's stream, because if this episode is as mind-blowing as people are making it out to be, we're going to have an insane amount to talk about on Thursday night's stream. We might even have to do an emergency stream tomorrow. I'm getting excited. Schninks, sure, says, it was amazing. The story really develops now, and there is some amazing visuals. So literally anything, again, this is a very good source. This isn't just people who are sucking the teat of Disney. This is a very good source that would tell it how it is. And these people are telling it how it is, and it is good. And it is very, very good. It has great visuals. It has great action. It furthers the story. It is back on track, and it is really, really, really good. Okay? So it could be that this episode could blow minds. It could blow minds. After a very shaky Thursday stream last week, when I had to tell you guys you were all wrong, had to calm you all down from that last episode, we could be going on a huge high in this next episode. So let me catch up on all these chats that I just missed. Star Wars Politics says, maybe a young Ben and Luke. A young Ben and Luke would just literally blow minds forever, and I don't think that that's it. So let's cut that down right away, because I don't want people to get excited and think that I told them that Ben and Luke were going to be in this episode, because it wasn't me. It was Star Wars Politics. Blame him. Honey Badger says, man, I don't know what to expect now. I'm just hyped. Swagger Like Us says, watch party confirmed. I'll be there at 2 a.m. Watch party. I don't know. Star Wars Politics says, maybe the guy who has the dagger in the Rise of Skywalker. Well, then wouldn't Star Wars Mag tell you to watch The Rise of Skywalker, because Ochi of Bastoon is not in The Force Awakens. Ochi of Bastoon would be awesome to see, honestly. It would be great. Dr. Robot Nick says, I'm staying up tonight. Let's go. Honey Badger says, no, if Din dies, I'm out for good. Hashtag let's go Star Trek. Dude, you would have to kill off every freaking Star Wars character I've ever loved to make me even consider going to Star Trek. No. No. Dr. Robot Nick, see, I always want to say Dr. Gonk Droid when I say your name, because my name on Xbox is Dr. Gonk Droid. Dr. Robot Nick, what happened to my line here? There we go. Dr. Robot Nick says, crying? So they're going to bring back Luke again? No. I think they were just crying because it was an emotional day for them. I don't think it's going to actually be a sad one. Bumtendo Advance says, I'm going to head out. It was nice talking to you. Bumtendo, it's always great to have you in here. Look forward to seeing you in the Discord later. Perfect time to say it, because Bumtendo is in that Discord. Go check out the Discord in the description below. Talk to some people who love Star Wars. The Discord is called The People Who Love Star Wars. Go check out that Discord so you can have some fun talking about Star Wars 24/7 with some fun Star Wars fans, because I know Star Wars Politics is in there. I know Swagger Like Us, I think, is in there. I know Honey Badger is in there, and I know Bumtendo's in there. I know a bunch of people are in there, so go check out that Discord. Honey Badger says, man, I swear, Mike, if I cry because Din dies, it's your fault. Honey Badger says, and I want a free poncho for it. If Din dies in tomorrow's episode, I will give everybody free ponchos, because it's definitely not going to happen. Dr. Robot Nick says, kind of disappointing it took it to the last 2 episodes for the story to kind of kick in. I need more than 2. I liked last week's episode. Its placement would have been better earlier on in the season, though. Yeah, so I actually enjoyed last week's episode. It's just the placement was everything. The fact that it was in the 6th episode, and after the 5th episode really set up who saved Moff Gideon, and we're actually going to see Moff Gideon and all that stuff, and that didn't happen, it really left a sour taste in my mouth, but the episode wasn't all that bad. But yes, it is disappointing that they've waited till the last 2 episodes to kind of get the story going. But I believe that this episode will explain why it took so long. Why we had to see them go to Mandalore, see the Mythosaur. We needed episode 5 to happen the way it did. But yeah, there was a bunch of filler and it did take a while to get to. But I believe that it all will be revealed in these next 2 episodes, you know? Star Wars Politics says, Luke or no Luke? I'm going to say no Luke. Because I feel like maybe Luke could show up in the finale, but I feel like they're keeping Luke away from this season. And I feel like they're kind of just keeping Luke off on his own. Maybe he won't even show up in Ahsoka. But I don't know. Star Wars Politics says Ahsoka or no Ahsoka? I think it's more likely we see Sabine than Ahsoka. I don't think Ahsoka will be in this episode, but maybe she'll be in the finale as well to set up the Ahsoka show. Although they did say it will set up the Ahsoka show, but I think that's more alluding to Grand Admiral Thrawn. Honey Badger says, watch party now, you have to. If Din dies, I'll tell you it's your fault in real time. As tempting as that sounds, I don't know if I can stay up till 3 a.m. tonight. We'll see how the rest of my night goes. We'll see. I'll tell you guys in the Discord if we're doing a watch party or not. Dr. Robot Nick says, sweet, free ponchos? Well, Din's probably not going to die, so I doubt it. Most likely, no free ponchos. But yeah, you can get your hopes up if you'd like. Go for it. Free ponchos for everybody. If Din Djarin dies. Whew. That was a lot to cover. We covered almost all of the Star Wars Celebration news. I know as soon as I get off the freaking stream, I'm going to be like, oh my God, I didn't even cover this. And it was so huge. But right now, I can't think. So, Dr. Robot Nick says, when what? When would the free ponchos be? Well, if Din Djarin dies, then I'd give you guys all free ponchos. In this next episode. If he dies in this next episode, okay? So if he survives the next episode, no free ponchos for you. Okay? Did I miss any Star Wars Celebration news? Because I know I'm missing something. We went over the 3 movies. We went over a bunch of the shows. Did we cover all the shows? Did you guys watch any of like the live stream stuff from Star Wars Celebration? Did anybody watch any of the interviews? When Hayden Christensen did his interview, oh my God. Enough to make a grown man cry. Oh, there was a Bad Batch Season 3 trailer? Oh, let's read the description for this, Bad Larry. Whoop whoop, poncho time, #RIP Din. Well, now you're just like, what? You think Din's actually going to die now? All right, here we go. Let's read the description for the Bad Batch Season 3 trailer. How do they already have a trailer for this? What the heck? This doesn't come out for like a year. Here we go. Blah, 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 blah. Here we go. At Star Wars Celebration, attendees enjoyed an exclusive preview for a trailer of The Bad Batch's 3rd and final season. The direct was in audience. The direct is what we're reading. The direct was in attendance, when the first footage was shown, which begins with a variation of Emperor Palpatine's shuttle arriving on Mount Tantus. Awesome. Emperor Palpatine already confirmed. The Imperial cloning facility where both Omega and Crosshair are currently held captive, and maybe Tech as well. Palpatine addresses Dr. Hemlock, emphasizing how important it is for the facility to remain secure. Holy crap. Palpatine, he's on Tantus. He knows about Tantus. Shit's happening with Tantus. Omega is shown wearing an Imperial-esque uniform and sporting a new haircut. Ooh, interesting. Which is followed by quick shots of familiar faces, including Minya Wen's Fennec Shand from Season 1, Nala Se, Captain Rex, and a surprising return of a fan favorite commander, Wolf. So Fennec Shand is back. Wild. She wasn't in season 2. She was in season 1. Nala Se, of course, who's on Mount Tantus. Captain Rex was in both season 1 and 2. And Commander Wolf, who hasn't been in either season, but that's exciting. So Commander Wolf, if you guys are unfamiliar, is this guy right here. I don't know if this is the scene from the trailer or not, but as the rest of the Bad Batch mount a mission to save Omega, Hunter says, Omega's been waiting for us. I'm not making her wait another day. The trailer cuts to Omega and Crosshair in jail cells, with Omega saying, I'm not giving up, Crosshair. I won't leave you either. You're my brother. However, he only replies with, I am not them. I'm not them. I'm not them. That makes no sense. Additional footage reveals plenty of action and new threatening creatures, as well as a darker, more sinister Dun. What? At one point, Wrecker approximately says, so this is what they're just saying. That, remember, he said something along the lines of, why is there always a huge monster? The trailer ends with Wrecker dropping a bomb inside of a Sarlacc pit what? That has taken hold of their ship, which is followed by an explosion. Wow. Okay. A lot to unpack there. So we have, of course, the return of Fennec Shand, which is wild. The return of Commander Wolf, which is wild. Palpatine on Mount Tantus talking to Dr. Hemlock, stating how important it is that this remains secure. Mount Tantus, that is. But we know the Bad Batch are going to try and infiltrate it. You have Omega. You have Hunter saying that Omega's been waiting for us. We're not going to make her wait any longer. Omega and Crosshair in jail cells. Omega trying to talk to Crosshair, saying how he's her brother still, and he says, no, I'm not. And then Wrecker says, why is there always huge monsters? There's going to be even more huge monsters. And then it ends with Wrecker dropping a bomb inside of a Sarlacc pit, which is kind of strange. Kind of strange. Which is, I'm excited for this season. I'm really surprised that they already have a trailer. Maybe this season's coming a lot sooner than we expect. Could the Bad Batch be coming out sooner than even next year? Could we get the Bad Batch Season 3 this year? It's kind of strange that they already have that much footage done with a plot and everything. That's kind of weird. I mean, maybe the Bad Batch is coming sooner than we expect. That would be kind of crazy. That would be kind of crazy. Honey Badger says, I watched Cal, and man, Cameron is such the GOAT, an amazing person for Star Wars. Yeah, he's so good. Honey Badger says, yes, Mike, now I do, because I called his death weeks ago. You never know. Free ponchos for everybody. Honey Badger says, I hope Grogu Force chokes Bo to death. Jeez, what's this turn on Bo? Bo did nothing wrong. Bo did nothing wrong. Hashtag Bo did nothing wrong. She's the GOAT, okay? If Din dies, it's because she took the darksaber from him and he's defenseless. Like, he could even pick up that darksaber. Like, he could even pick up the darksaber to defend himself. Yeah, exactly. All right, I'm going to get on out of here. We've been streaming for almost an hour and 50 minutes. Jeepers. Great stream. Another great. Wow, it was an hour and 50 minutes. Jeez, I didn't even look at the time. That time flies when you're talking about Star Wars. Jeepers. All right, I'm going to get on out of here. I'm losing my voice now. I'm running low on the giant cup of water. But you guys are the absolute best. Thank you for sticking around on the stream. Thank you for coming for all the streams. Don't forget to hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit that bell so you get notified every time I post a video, and my pretty face will show up in the recommended feed of yours. Maybe watch party, but likely no watch party. I really, really hope that all these people are right, and this is the greatest episode of The Mandalorian so far. And I hope that we just get cooler and cooler and cooler episodes as we go. I know there's only 2 left, but the Ahsoka show's right around the corner in a few short months, and The Mandalorian season 4 as well. I can't wait for Star Wars. It's the greatest time to be a Star Wars fan, so don't forget to stick around this channel so you get all the news, all the breakdowns, all the fun, and all these cool, awesome live streams where you guys get to interact with me and all this fun stuff as well. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your dogs to tune into the next live stream. And may the Force be with you always. Where's that stupid button? Yes. What a stream. Ponchos for free for everybody if Din Djarin dies in the next episode. All right. You guys are the absolute best. Thank you guys for sticking around. Quick shout out to Swagger Like Us. Quick shout out to Dr. Robot Nick. Quick shout out to Honey Badger for sticking with us. Dr. Star Wars Politics. Bumtendo Advanced for the greatest name of all time. And Kyle, quick shout out to Kyle for showing up as well. What a great stream. What a great night. You guys are the absolute best. Thank you for sticking around the channel. Go tell everybody about the channel. And it's my fault if Din Djarin dies. Okay? Have a great night. Hopefully you guys will be in the Discord tomorrow morning getting really, really excited for what is to come with the finale of The Mandalorian, just because that episode was that awesome and we can't wait for it. You guys are the absolute best. Have a great rest of your night. Have a great rest of your week. Have a great rest of your lives. And good night to you all. Good night, everybody.